All right, Rippers. As I said, I had more to share. Just to confirm here, right there, you have yourself a National Guard guy. And as you can see, he's sitting at the front door to check people's temperatures and go ahead and, ask you the questions that they always ask you. Have you lost your taste, your sense of smell, run any high fevers, chest congestion, not being able to breathe, low O2, all of those things that are all really relevant because, of course, if you got it, they want to know it and they want to keep it under control. But this is what they have them doing. And as you can see, he's right busy. Now, that's not his fault. That's because, and here's the other guy, right? And there were more of them roaming around. So, in talking with them and talking with a really close family member of mine who is in there working not only in our area, but he's up in Salem, and he says they have a lot of their guard and their men up there doing things like janitorial and cleanup and bed swapping and helping move patients and wipe butts and all those kind of things, right? Because they don't really have any like on staff all the time corpsmen, right? Because National Guard, of course, are kind of like a volunteer situation where they go and only serve a certain amount of time, a month or when they're called in to duty and that kind of thing. So they don't have maybe as many medical staff as, say, the actual military would have. Now, it would make more sense to me if maybe the actual military would step in and use their doctors and corpsmen and EMS and all of those kind of people that they train in being in there to help in more vital roles. Because as everybody has said on my last video, which I gotta appreciate every single one of the comments, they were all golden. Even if they weren't on 100% agreement, it's still really awesome and pertinent knowledge that we need to share, right? We need to understand that we can share with one another and not agree 100% on everything or have different ideas or thoughts on what may be going on and still get along and come together for everyone's better good, right? Without infringing on freedoms, rights, and liberties, right? Because we shouldn't be doing that, right? There are better ways. We're smarter than this. We can figure out ways to do it without force, right? But what I'm telling you is they even feel like, and a lot of them have been asking for transfers of jobs because they just feel like, you got officers pushing brooms. They just think to themselves, this is not helping in such a way that it should for the problems that they're seeing, right? Because they're seeing what's really going on. The problem is they don't feel that they're really helping. Now, from the medical staff point, they are helping because they're taking away some of the mundane tasks that the medical staff and the nurses that are already short from people leaving because they're being forced to say, get the jab, or they're just tired of it because they've been understaffed, right? They've been losing people since before all of this even, and now they're losing even more. And as of the 18th, the deadline, or before in some places, I'm being told in our comment section, people are leaving before that. Well, that's going to cause an even bigger strain on the system. And just being a janitor or a security guard or a vacuumer or whatever, somebody giving instructions or directions to a place isn't going to help the problem at hand, okay? And that's the way they feel. That's coming from their mouths. And the last email that went out actually stated, because they're mandated by the 18th to get their jab. And there is, from what I was told from my friend, a good portion of them that aren't going to do it. Like somewhere getting close to at least 50%, if not 60, right? And for instance, when they were doing the voluntary jab in their instructional sections and the people could volunteer to go up and do it, out of 25 people that was in his group when he went in, one volunteered. The rest weren't interested. That's not good. And I'm not saying that's not good, that people should be going out and getting jabbed. I'm just saying it shows you the distrust and the questions people have and the worries they have that need to be addressed, right? So that being said, he got this email that basically said that on the 18th, all of the people that aren't jabbed by then will probably be relieved of duty at that point. Now, that doesn't mean kicked out or anything like that, but they'll just no longer be needed, and they'll readjust and position the people that stayed, but they're still strongly encouraging everybody to. And he honestly doesn't know where things are going to stand, whether or not they're going to be, disciplined, forced, or otherwise. So I just wanted to show you that and wanted to touch base with that. Oh, and for those of you who keep saying, make them fire you, right? It doesn't work that way. Couple reasons. Many states are right to hire and fire. They don't need a reason. They can just let you go, right? And because of that, they could deny your unemployment. But it's worse than that. If they have made a condition of employment change or something that's required for your job and you refuse, well, that kind of falls under the insubordination or the refusal of doing what's required for your job or a requirement of your job. And that's you quitting. So they can fight and not pay you your unemployment. And in fact, this very person I talked to has a relative that works in the unemployment offices, and they've already got new verbiage in their rules and requirements in place that states if you are let go because you wouldn't take a required vaccination, that you will be not eligible for unemployment. So don't be surprised if that happens, and be ready for it. Do I think it's wrong? Absolutely. Right? There's no reason why these people can't just wear extra PPE if needed, vented hoods if needed, just whatever, keep washed up well. They might have to go through some more hoops, but they should have the right to not do it and not lose their employment and affect their families, right? Because many of these people, including my family member, have been working there through all of this and have never caught it and are just using regular old masks and washing hands. Now they've stepped up the requirements, I believe, to fitted N95s or higher, and they have to be fitted. They go through fitting, of which this National Guard person actually went through fitting. They had to fit them all, right? So that says something towards the prior idea in my last video of a possible bug that likes to float through the air on its own, if you know what I mean. So these are all things to take into consideration. These are all first-hand accounts or seen with my eyes, talk to the person directly, right? So this does confirm, and it's not only here, it's all over Oregon where we've got the Guard, and there are other states that do too, and there's more coming, right? If you haven't checked out Marfugal News or Marfugal TV, you should. You should check out his website. I sent him an actual email that it's an internal email, instructions from the person, the major, I believe it was, or major general, something like that. You have to watch it, and I may share it here, and what she was instructing and how many of them that they're holding in reserve ready to go on demand, right? They have them staged and ready. So this doesn't mean that it's some sort of big conspiracy or anything like that. I'm just saying these are real life things, and you have to decide what it means and look into it further. But this isn't something I've ever seen before. This isn't something I've seen with any of the other bugs that came out in the Obama era or any of the others, right? We've had other bugs come from overseas. We've had other issues like this, and nothing has happened like this. I haven't been offered cheeseburgers, hamburgers, lotto tickets, and everything else. So this is different. I'm not saying how it's different or why it's different, because I don't think we know yet, and we may never. But we got to be aware of these things, and we got to be aware of what's true. So there you go. I hope this helps. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I made it less fearful and more informational, right? Let's talk. I was amazed at the amount of comments left in there. That is excellent. We need to talk. We need to come together, and we need to be united, right? And we need to be respectful with each other, right? Calling people names, telling them they're stupid, which I didn't see, or saying you're just flat out wrong, you're an idiot, that kind of stuff, that doesn't help. And that's why we don't see it on this channel. And I hope we continue not to see it, because quite honestly, it doesn't help all of us. If we want to get past this and get what's right, we got to work together. And we got to do it united. And we've got to accept people's differences or differences of opinion, as long as it's for making the change we all want to see. Anyway, stay safe, stay secure, always be aware of your surroundings, be getting prepared and ready for anything that may come ahead. Much love and respect to all of you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.